Thank you, Mr. Chair. I rise in opposition to the bill, and I yield myself such time as I may consume. Discrimination in the workplace is wrong. Paying women lower wages for the same work is wrong. It's also illegal. Congress enacted protections to ensure equal pay for equal work in 1963, when the Equal Pay Act was added to the Fair Labor Standards Act. Congress acted again to protect women and all Americans from workplace discrimination with enactment of Title VII of the Civil Rights Act. Together, these laws offer women strong protections against workplace discrimination and strong remedies should they be subject to illegal employment practices. Yet we're here today debating a bill that has been touted as necessary to protect women from being underpaid. Supporters of the bill would have you believe that unless this legislation is enacted, employers are free to pay women less money for doing the same job as their male counterparts. Nothing could be further from the truth. H.R. 1338 isn't needed to protect women from wage discrimination. Such protections are already included in the law. No, this bill is about something entirely different. Rather than addressing the real concerns of working families, issues like health care, a lack of workplace flexibility, and yes, the high price of gasoline, this bill invites more and costlier lawsuits. The bill opens EPA claims to unlimited compensatory punitive damages, even in cases where there was clearly no intentional discrimination. The majority will offer an amendment today that attempts to mask this trial lawyer boondoggle. But make no mistake about it. At the end of the day, this bill will invite more lawyers to bring more lawsuits because it offers them the promise of a bigger payday. H.R. 1338 will breed litigation in other ways as well, from encouraging class action lawsuits to expanding liability. I'm also concerned that this bill has been put forward using misleading claims to justify its dangerous consequences. Supporters will repeat over and over the statistic that women earn just 77 cents on the dollar. Mr. Chair, if a woman earned 77 cents on the dollar doing the same job as a man, it would be a travesty and it would be illegal. What supporters of this bill won't tell you is that the 77% figure does not compare one man and one woman doing the same job. To argue that a woman only makes 70 cents on the dollar doing the same work as her male counterpart is to distort reality. The 77% figure is based on 2005 census data looking at median earnings of all women and men who work at least 35 hours per week. Interestingly, if you look at 2006 data from the U.S. Department of Labor comparing men and women who work 40 hours per week, women actually earn 88 cents on the dollar. The wage gap is much narrower, but the existence of a gap is still troubling. However, last year, the Education and Labor Committee heard testimony that cited an article published in the American Economic Review, which found that when data on demographics, education, scores on the Armed Forces Qualification Test, and work experience are added, the wage ratio rises to 91.4%. The addition of variables measuring workplace and occupational characteristics, as well as child-related factors, causes the wage ratio to rise to 95.1%. When the percentage female in the occupation is added, the wage ratio becomes 97.5%, a far less significant difference. In another study, researchers from the University of Chicago and Cornell University found almost no difference in the pay of male and female top corporate executives when accounting for size of firm, position in the company, age, seniority, and experience. So before we use the 77% figure to justify new legal gotchas, I think we need a better understanding of the scope of any actual pay disparity and why such a disparity exists. Luckily, there are steps we could take right now, right here, that would ease the strain on working women. Republicans have proposed a bill, the American Energy Act, that embraces our all-of-the-above approach to the energy reform. It would unlock America's vast energy resources, increasing the production of American-made energy and reducing foreign nations' stranglehold on our economic and national security. Republicans recognize that we need comprehensive solutions to solve our energy crisis and ease the strain on working families brought by high energy costs. Unfortunately, the majority has refused to allow a vote on common-sense energy reforms. Now we're poised to go home for a month without voting on real energy reforms. We're about to pass a bill that will bring a major payday to trial lawyers, but will do nothing to ease the pocketbook concerns of hardworking American families. Mr. Chair, I'm strongly opposed to H.R. 1338. It's the wrong bill at the wrong time. We shouldn't be here giving handouts to trial lawyers. We should be voting on energy solutions for American families. I reserve the balance of my time.